By 1993, Steven Spielberg was already one of the most popular and accomplished directors of his generation. He helped invent the summer blockbuster with Jaws, and then went on to make films like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and more mega hits. Yet somehow, he still wasn't done breaking the summer movie mold. At the time of its release, Jurassic Park became the highest-grossing movie ever and spawned a franchise that's still producing new films today. Jurassic Park and its first two sequels remain staples of every 90s kid's childhood. They're the kind of movies you can watch over and over. But even if you've done that, we're betting there are some things that you probably haven't noticed yet. Well, we're here to help. Here are some of the best details you never noticed in the original Jurassic Park trilogy.
Hold on to your butts.
Jurassic Park makes it clear from the very beginning that Dr. Alan Grant is not good with technology. He's much happier digging in the dirt than he is trying to use a computer.
Look at the extra. What'd you do?
He touched it. Dr. Grant's not mission compatible.
When he and Dr. Ellie Sattler agree to go to the island with John Hammond, it turns out that even seatbelts are an issue for him when he winds up with two female belt clasps. Frustrated by the whole thing, he just ties a knot. It's a funny moment, but it's also a detail that foreshadows much more. When they finally arrive at the park, Grant and Sattler are told that the dinosaurs can't breed because they've all been engineered to be female. Later, Grant finds egg shards in the wild and realizes that the frog DNA used to make the dinosaurs also allowed them to change their sex so they could breed. So in essence, two female connections found a way to get together anyway, just like the seatbelt.
Life, finds a way.
If there's an actual villain in Jurassic Park aside from hungry dinosaurs, it's Dennis Nedry.
Oh, God, it's cool to compartmentalize inside.
The film reveals early on that Nedry, who's fallen on hard financial times, has agreed to steal dinosaur embryos from the park and smuggle them out to be sold to a corporate rival. To do this, he effectively tanks the park's entire system in the middle of a storm, just so he can have a brief window to make his escape. The kind of chaos Nedry is set to sow in Jurassic Park is foreshadowed in a lot of ways, including the look of his desk. It's an absolute mess, covered with papers and junk food and little toys, but there are also a few clever hints at what's to come hidden here.
Dennis, our lives are in your hands and you have butterfingers?
In one scene, if you look closely at the monitor on the far left of Nedry's desk, you'll see that he has a window open to play Jaws. Not only is it Steven Spielberg's breakout film, but it's also, not coincidentally, a film about the dangers of refusing to listen to experts. But that's not the only surprise hidden in the clutter of Nedry's desk. Taped to the side of one of his monitors is a photo of J. Robert Oppenheimer, the scientist most commonly remembered as the father of the atomic bomb. Like Oppenheimer and his colleagues at the Manhattan Project, the people working at Jurassic Park are part of a massive, paradigm-shifting scientific discovery that could have consequences they have not yet dreamed of.
What you call discovery, I call the rape of the natural world.
A recurring theme throughout Jurassic Park is the way in which John Hammond just keeps barreling through obstacles to accomplish his dream of a dinosaur theme park, regardless of the risks. He's convinced, right up until things start to go very wrong, that he has done something magnificent that will soon be a worldwide sensation, and he has the plans to prove it. In the dinner scene, the table is surrounded by various visual displays on the screens around the room. Each of these screens shows us exactly how sure Hammond is that his idea is going to be a huge hit. On one wall, he's projecting a bar graph that shows he's convinced Jurassic Park will soon be more popular than sports as an entertainment commodity. On another, just behind Dr. Sattler, he's projecting his plans for Jurassic Park Europe, an expansion of the original facility that he's no doubt certain he'll be able to build. Hammond's dreams may have turned into nightmares, but never let it be said that he didn't dream big. Even aside from all the dinosaurs, Jurassic Park seems to have it all. From world-class dining to elaborate design and a hell of a dessert stash, the park looks like it might have really been something if it had actually been able to open to the public. Jurassic Park is so detailed by the time the scientific advisors get there that it even has a fully stocked gift shop, which we see in one of the rare quiet scenes after the chaos begins. As the camera pans past the souvenir t-shirts and stuffed dinosaur toys, It also shows us a book called The Making of Jurassic Park by Don Shea and Jody Duncan. In the film, we can imagine this would be a book commissioned by Hammond to paint a rosy picture of his revolutionary theme park idea, but it was actually a real book. Spielberg slipped a plug for Shea and Duncan's book about the making of the movie rather than the park right into the film. But you know what they say about Spielberg movies.
Really spectacular, spared no expense.
Jurassic Park is a story very concerned with DNA. John Hammond's company, InGen, has created something unprecedented by harvesting dinosaur DNA through blood taken from prehistoric mosquitoes. As Mr. DNA explains during his video presentation early in the film, this DNA is then combined with frog DNA to complete the genetic code of the animals, allowing InGen to grow and hatch all their dinosaurs.
Very good. Push. Push. Very good.
God.
Of course, as soon as Dr. Ian Malcolm starts digging deeper into the scientific implications of what Hammond and company have done, the movie becomes a cautionary tale, and Spielberg finds all kinds of ways to convey those themes. This culminates in the famous raptor attack sequence in the visitor center, when a projector shines a sequence of letters across a raptor's face and neck. The letters are C, G, A, and T, which together represent the basic building blocks of DNA. By projecting them directly onto the dinosaur, Spielberg is subtly reminding us that these creatures are not part of the natural order.
Clever girl.
Steven Spielberg's filmmaking stems from a lifelong love of movies, so of course he packs his films with loving little references to movies he's enjoyed for decades. Since Jurassic Park is a franchise about prehistoric creatures rising to threaten human civilization, it makes sense that Spielberg would draw inspiration from an old favorite, King Kong. Both Jurassic Park and The Lost World feature references to Kong. In the first film, Dr. Malcolm makes a joke about it as their tour vehicles pass through the park's gates.
What do they got in there, King Kong?
In The Lost World, the reference is a bit more subtle but arguably more impactful. The ship that InGen uses to transport the Tyrannosaurus Rex and its baby to San Diego is named the Venture, just like the ship that brought King Kong to Manhattan in the original film. As it turns out, both voyages were pretty bad ideas. Perhaps the most famous sequence in The Lost World Jurassic Park comes near the end of the film, when an angry T-Rex rampages through San Diego. The sequence is packed with big, explosive action as well as smaller bits of humor. And if you watch it enough times, you start to notice a lot of little background jokes all around the mayhem. Some of the most memorable of these jokes comes in the moment when a runaway bus collides with a Blockbuster video store. Inside the store, there are several fake posters for movies that never existed. We can see posters for Jack and the Beanstalks starring Robin Williams, and a film starring Tom Hanks called Tsunami Sunrise. But perhaps the best is the poster for King Lear starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, complete with some fabulous long hair. Oddly enough, this isn't the first time this joke has happened. 2 years earlier, an episode of the Steven Spielberg-produced Animaniacs riffed on the idea of Schwarzenegger leading a King Lear film.
But Paramount hurts and they're losing their shirts. Means Schwarzenegger's doing King Lear.
The T-Rex attack on San Diego is full of little fun moments, including a very memorable death scene that's actually a little more important than you realized. As a crowd flees from the pursuing dinosaur, a man in glasses and a plaid shirt breaks off from the rest of the group and tries to run into a nearby business, only to find himself at the mercy of the T-Rex. That's not just some T-Rex victim, though. It's David Koepp, the screenwriter behind both Jurassic Park and The Lost World. Hey, that's one way to get out of writing Jurassic Park 3.
Alan.
Dr. Alan Grant is great at a lot of things, but he's definitely not good with children.
He slashes at you here or here. Or maybe across the belly, spilling your intestines.
Oh, he gets better after he hangs out with Lex and Tim over the course of the first film, but in general, he's more comfortable with the dinosaurs that want to eat him than he is with children.
I want to go now.
Just look how it eats.
Jurassic Park 3 returns to the theme of Grant's dynamic with the kids with an early scene in which he's playing with Dr. Sattler's young son. The toddler holds up a pair of herbivore dinosaur toys and makes them play fight. But Dr. Grant knows better and demonstrates that carnivorous dinosaurs are the ones that would actually be fighting.
They really like fighting with each other. They use their teeth and their claws to rip each other's throats out.
The scene is amusing because it reminds us that Dr. Grant still isn't great with kids, even though he does make an effort. But it also carries another meaning. By playing with the pair of carnivore toys in the beginning of the film, Grant foreshadows the clash between the Tyrannosaurus and the Spinosaurus later in the film, which does in fact have both dinos going for the throat. Thanks for watching. Click the links in our video to watch more from Netflix Film Club. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the latest exclusive videos. Plus hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.